Hello everyone, my name is Veer and in this video we are going to see how we can run our code that is present in GitHub repo using Azure Devops. Okay, and also we'll try to publish the extent report that is generated from Azure Devops to GitHub pages. Okay, so without wasting any time, let's flip on to the IntelliJ and let's see what code we are going to run, and then we'll try to push that code to GitHub, and from there we'll move ahead. Okay, so I have written one sample code, okay, where we are running a test to open the Chrome browser, and few tests like getting the title. That's it. So basically we are doing simple uh, browser execution and some assertion over that. So let me try to show you what we are going to do. I'll just try to run one of the tests over here. Okay, so basically what it will do, it will open the Chrome browser and it will uh, assert on the title. That's it. So if you can see, the Chrome browser has opened and it has asserted also. Okay, and so once the execution is completed, you will see one report that is generated at a location, this index.html. So let me try to open that file as well. So these are the two tests. Basically this is a extent report that got generated for these two tests. Okay. Okay, now what we'll do, we'll try to move this code or push this code to GitHub. So before that, what we have to do, we have to initialize the Git repository. So the command is git init. It will initialize the empty Git repository. Okay, now what we will do, will all this code, or add a commit to this. Okay, so if you can see, it will show the changed files and all that stuff. So we will need all the Java files. Okay, like these are my Java files. This is my POM. I'll try to include all the required files over here. Okay, so if you can see, I have added the extend report initializer, extend report listener, extend test manager, firefox.xml. I don't want the dot class files. Okay, and I'll try to commit those. So I'll say initial code for extend report, let's say, and let's add a commit. So I'll add my Git username over here and email address as well. Sorry, my username is Veer Patil and email address is okay. So I'll set and I'll add commit. So I'll just click on the commit. So if you can see, it says 9 files are committed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, so we have committed all 9 files. Now what we have to do, we have to push this code to GitHub repo, right? So that this code is present on the GitHub repository. So what we will do, we'll just go to the my Git repository. So basically I'll go to the GitHub and I have, for ready purpose, I have logged in, and here I will create a new repository. Let's say I'll give name it as Azure GitHub. Okay. and I'll make it as public. I don't want git ignore. I don't have any license. Okay, and I'll just click on create repository. Okay, now we have to push the existing repository, right? So what we have to do, we have to use this below command, so it gives you all those commands. So what I'll do, I'll just click on the copy this, and I'll go to the IntelliJ again and add. So what it will do, it will add a remote origin to this. Okay, now what we have to do, so we have to, I think we had already created a branch, right? So we don't need to use this. We'll just use git push u origin. Instead of main, we will pass it as our current branch, that is our master branch. Okay, so let's look at the command again. Git push u origin main. Okay, so I'll do that. Master. So if it will ask you for a credential if you have not set. Okay, and then it will try to push your code to GitHub. So if you can see, it is asking you for an personal token. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll try to log in over here with my credentials. So I'll add my password. So if you can see, it has pushed all the code to a master branch. Now let's see we are able to see that code or not. Okay, so if I go over here, if you can see, I am able to see all the code that have been pushed. Okay, so we have done with the first part of our this particular demo, where we have pushed our existing code to GitHub. In the second part, what we will do is we'll try to run the code that is present in the GitHub using the Azure Devops pipeline. Okay, so for that, what I have done, I have created one blank project in Azure Devops services. Okay, basically, and here what we'll do, we'll try to create one pipeline that will build your code and generate the HTML report. Okay, so if I go to the pipelines, I'll see an option to create a pipeline. So I'll just click on this create pipeline button. Okay, then you have option to create this pipeline using the YAML or using the classic editor. So I'll click on use the classic editor button. Okay, then it will ask you for different repository options available over here. So uh, as our code is on GitHub, we will use GitHub over here. Okay, and then it will ask you for a repository and default branch. Okay, so here are different authorization available for to get the source code. So if you wanted to see those options, you have to click on this, and click on new service connection. Okay, I'll give a name as say test Azure. Okay, and there are two authorization mechanism. Basically, one is to authorize using OAuth, or you can create a GitHub personal token for this. So I will choose a GitHub personal access token. I'll show you how you can create this token as well. Okay, so for that, what you have to do, you have to go to your GitHub account, then you have to go to your settings. Okay, and you will find the option called as developer settings over here. And if you can see, there are two options, OAuth apps and personal access token. So click on personal access token, and there is a button called as generate new token. So you have to use this you have to click on this particular button. Okay, and if you wanted to give a name for this particular token, you can select, and you have to give different permission to this, like what actions this particular if the application is authorized using this access token, what are the different accesses that you wanted to give. So I'll select all, basically just for our demonstration purpose. You can do it on as per your needs basically, and give a name, like say I have given as a test token. Okay, and then you have to click on generate token. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll create a token, and then maybe I'll add over here. Okay, so I just created one token. Okay, and I will copy that particular token for my reference, and I'll use over here. So I will add the token over here. Okay, and I'll click on authorize. So once authorization is done, it will give you the list of repositories that are currently available. So if you can see, all these are my GitHub repositories. Okay, and I'll select the repository where our code is present. Okay, and I wanted to run it on master branch. So I'll click on continue. So basically our project is of Maven. So I'll select the Maven over here. Okay, and click on apply. Okay, and what we wanted to do is we wanted to run our test, right? So what I'll do, I'll delete these unwanted steps. We don't need these particular steps over here. Okay, and I'll just add a step which says, we wanted to run our code, or we wanted to run our test. So what I'll do, instead of goal as a package over here, I will say clean test. Okay, and that's that's the all the thing that we need. And we wanted to select the agent where you wanted to run. Okay, so you can see there are different options available. Like we wanted to use a Mac OS agent or a Ubuntu agent or a Windows agent. So I'll select Windows latest, and I will click on save and queue. Let's say we'll select it as a first test to run on Azure Devops. Okay, and I'll click on save and run. So what it will do, it will start executing your test over using the DevOps Azure DevOps agent basically. Okay, so till the execution gets completed, I will I'll pause the demo, and then once the completion is done, we'll start. Okay, so we have completed with the execution, and if you can see, all the execution is done, and you can see the execution log over here which says two test runs are passed. Okay, now let's see whether the results are available in your test report as well. So if you can see, the two tests are passed over here. Okay, now next step is what we have to do. We have to run or publish a extent report that is generated on our GitHub pages. So for that, what we have to do, we have to first create a one branch basically, called as GitHub pages. Okay, so we will see that how we can do that particular thing. So what I'll do, I'll quickly open my github.com. I'll go to the repository which get recently created. Okay, and so here basically, if you can see, there is an option called as pages. Okay, and here you can see, uh, we don't have any branch called as we don't have any branch called as GitHub pages. So first of all, we have to create one branch called as GitHub pages, and then we can do or publish the pages on that particular repository. So for that, we have to create one empty branch called as GitHub pages. Okay, so I'll tell you how you can create that. So what you have to do, you have to just first of all, you have to do git checkout and open gh pages. So this will be a new branch that has been created. Then what we'll do, we'll reset all the code that we are having. So basically it has been created from master, right? So we have to clean it, and then I'll add a commit saying that uh, allow empty and fresh and empty GitHub pages branch. So we had created this particular blank branch, and then what we will do, we'll push this branch on a GitHub. Okay, now if I go and come over here and if I refresh this thing, so I could be able to see the branch. If you can see, we had published that particular branch, right, and it is showing a GitHub page. So basically this is where our extent report will be published on this particular branch. Now let's see what changes we have to do in order to publish the extent report in our pipeline. So what you have to do, you have to just go to this particular uh, pipeline. You have to click on edit. Okay, and we have to click on this add task. Okay, and here you have to search for a extension or a say task called as publish to GitHub pages and click on add. Okay, and we have to specify what documents or what content you wanted to publish. Okay, so if you can see our let me just open. So our report gets published in this particular folder called as test output, right? So what we have to do, we have to use the same over here in your pipeline basically. So the directory where our content present are nothing but this test output, and we wanted to copy all the content whatever there is present. We have to copy this. Then what additional things that you need to for this is your GitHub username. Okay, and your GitHub email address. Okay, and the personal access token basically. Okay, and the repository name where your code will be published, or sorry, the report will be published. So our branch GitHub repository name is this. Okay, so I'll just copy this and I'll add. And if you can see, it has picked up the default branch as a GitHub pages. And if you wanted to add a particular commit message saying that published, say published report to GitHub pages, and then I'll just save this and queue. Okay, so what it will do, it will execute your test cases, and let's see whether the report gets published onto your GitHub pages basically. Let's see whether it happens or not. So by the time the execution happens, I'll pause the video and I'll resume once the execution is completed. Okay, so if you can see, now the execution is completed, all the test has been executed, and also all the task of this particular pipeline has been executed. Now let's see what had happened on the GitHub repository basically. So if you can see, there are two branches. One is master and second is GitHub pages. So on GitHub pages, there must be one page called as index.html. Now this page is available. Now let's see how we can view this particular page, right? So there are two options basically. What you have to do is you can just click on this GitHub pages. Okay, and it will see it will tell you what are the deployments that are currently happening. So if you can see, the report is yet not yet get published. Okay, let's see what is under this particular deployment is basically happening. Okay, so if you can see, uh, all the pages and report has been built and published. Okay, let's see whether that page is available or not. Okay, so for that, what you have to do, you have to just click on this particular URL and it should open you the extent report. So if you can see, The extent report is available with two tests, and it will give you the timing as well. Whatever the test that has been executed, all these details will be available to you. Okay. So you can share this particular URL with your stakeholders, like using this URL they can access this particular report for each and every run. So that's it for this video, guys. Thank you. Thanks for watching.